Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking a look to see what details in your specific situation are you missing, okay? We're doing a bit of a deep dive. We're going to kind of see where that blind spot is for you, what your guides really want to point out to you about your situation so that you can move forward with more knowledge, with more confidence, and with more success. So that's what we're taking a look at today. We are going to, like I said, we're going to do a bit of a deep dive. We're going to see what details are you missing? Are you not seeing? Where's your blind spot at with this? Okay. So I have 3 piles for you guys to pick from today, 3 different tarot decks that you'll be using as your primary deck in your reading. So pile number 1, we have a totally unofficial Adventure Time Tarot deck. Pile number 2, we have the Modern Witch Tarot. And then pile number 3, we have the Pulp Magazine Tarot deck. So these are the 3 that you guys will be choosing from today. We'll pull some oracle cards for you on camera as well whenever we get to your pile. Please remember too, if you have any other requests or topics, things you'd like to see on the channel, leave those in the comments down below. I always read those. I always respond to them or love them. React to them on the channel. I love engaging with you guys. It's so wonderful, and it's an honor to be able to read for you all as well. So if you have any requests that you'd like for things you'd like to see on the channel, please put those in the comments down below. Also, please remember, if you're enjoying my readings, subscribe to the channel. It helps so much and allows me to continue to put these readings out for you guys. But let's jump in here, take some time and meditate on these piles. Pause the video if you need to give yourself a little bit more time, and I will see you in your respective pile to find out where's your blind spot. What details of your situation are you missing that could help you lead to success? Bye, you guys. Hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the tarot deck, the totally unofficial Adventure Time Tarot deck here for your reading. And we have the oracle decks that we're going to pull a card or 2 from, just kind of depending on what we're kind of guided to do for your reading here. But we're going to be taking a look to see where your blind spot is in your situation. What details are you missing with this situation? Details that would help lead you to success or to greater success in whatever this endeavor is for you. I really felt like right now was a great time to do this reading. We've got the new moon in Virgo. I believe the peak of that is today when I'm filming this. This will be released on Friday, so it'll just be the day after I film. I try to do that and release videos pretty quickly after I film them, just so the energy is fresh. You know, of course, these are timeless readings as well, though. So whenever you're seeing this, this is still relevant for your situation. It's just that the energy that this is being filmed under is the energy of a new moon, and specifically in Virgo, which talks a lot about being organized. It's a sign of being grounded and organized and detail oriented. So I thought, what better time than now to use this energy and kind of look to see where our blind spots are with our situation, with situations that we're trying to move forward on. So let's jump into it, you guys. We are going to pull from this oracle deck first and get a card or 2 for you about what it is that you're missing with this situation. And I feel these 2 come out there for you. And then let's go ahead and grab from this one as well for you guys. So what is it that you're missing here? Got that one for you. And I do kind of feel like we have this second one here. So we'll do 2 of those as well for you. All right. Pile number 1, here we go. Let's grab your tarot cards as well. We'll get all these cards laid out for you, and then we'll stop. Then we'll start flipping them over. We'll find out what it is that you're missing here. So this top row, these are going to be this is going to be the situation here for these tarot cards. That's how we're reading this. So top row is going to be the situation itself, so you kind of know what it is that they're talking about here. And then The bottom row will be a little bit more about your blind spot, okay? So that's kind of how we're structuring this. Of course, we'll kind of let your guides lead us with messages as we decide or read, figure out here where your blind spot is that they want you to be aware of so that you can be more successful in this journey. So pile number 1, you're always kind of the experimental pile when it comes to the layout of the cards. So bear with me here. I just want to make sure you can see your cards. All right, my friends. So let's get started here. We'll start with this one and flip this over first. You have curiosity, right? And gifts. And then we'll start flipping these over for you as well. We have the High Priestess. We have the King of Cups. We have the Lovers. And we have the Star, okay. And 2 of Swords, 2 of Coins. Oh, you've been needing to make decisions here. I feel like there's decisions to be made. Oh, that was interesting. I don't know if you could hear that. There's a big tree, big oak tree that's right by my house, and it's right here by the window of this room, and I can hear the squirrels jump on the roof and run over. And right when I said that about your decisions, they jumped on the roof and ran over and made quite a bit of noise over us. So, okay, we have Stealthy Shark and Busy Beaver. All right. Pile number 1, let's take a look here. So the situation that we're looking at here, first of all, this is a situation that is kind of a big deal in your life, okay? I would say that this is probably a major event. I'm sure that you probably know what this situation is within reason. That's why you're here. You know that you're going through something. There's a situation coming up. There's big changes coming up for you, I feel like. And so you're here to find out where your blind spots are with this. What extra info do you need to know in order to move forward and really receive the best outcome here? But it looks like this is something with the High Priestess. I feel like this is a situation, number 1, it's a situation that you've been called to use your intuition with quite a bit, okay? And I feel like 2, part of the reason why you've been expected to do that, or why you've had to do that to a certain extent, has been because you can't see everything going on. You don't really know what's behind the curtain here, what's being hidden here from you. Sometimes, you know, in life, in situations, with the way the universe kind of works, the way our guides kind of work, we don't see we can't see the exact outcome of every single choice that we could possibly make here. So we're often called to rely on our intuition, okay? But what I see here for you, more about this situation here, we have this King of Cups energy. This really feels like, to me, like this is possibly about a relationship, okay? This could be about starting a new relationship here. We do have the Lovers card, which could also be about a major choice that you have too. The Star also talks about kind of coming out of a darker time. The Star can also be a little bit about being vulnerable, being open. Let's see here. It can talk about transformation, with curiosity and gifts as well. I just, right off the bat with gifts, as soon as I pulled this card and laid this down, I immediately thought about like spiritual gifts here. Pile number 1, I feel like you might be quite, what's the word? Quite endowed or quite gifted with psychic gifts, possibly. That might be something. You might be someone who's very in tune with your intuition. You're very in tune with that deep inner knowing, okay? So I feel like that is something that's definitely coming out for you here. But this situation, I feel like it's a situation, it has to do with something that you've really been wanting. It's a desire that you have. It's something maybe that you're currently, that you've been doing really well at. You've achieved a lot with this here. But I see here with the Lovers card and the Star card, like I said, these are major arcana cards, all these three. So this is a major thing going on in your life. And it really does kind of feel like this might be a relationship here for you, pile number one. So that's something that I'm seeing here. Let's see, with Stealthy Shark, we have comprehension, progress, and improvement. And Busy Beaver, we have motivation, cooperation, and efficiency. Yes, so I feel like this is something that you're wanting to progress here. That is definitely the 100% the feeling here that I'm getting, is whatever this situation may be for you. Like I said, it does feel a bit relationship-ish, but that doesn't have to necessarily be the case, okay? I'm going to get a couple of clarifiers just to better understand the situation for you here. Pile number one. So let's see here. Oh, that one just wanted to fall out. So we will take that guy. And one more here. Those two both wanted to come out. So we'll do these three. So a little bit more on the situation for pile number one. Okay, we have Knight of Coins. I'm just going to screw my beautiful cards up here real fast. We have Knight of Cups. Okay. Four of Wands. This is some sort of milestone that you've reached. This Knight of Coins, Knight of Cups. Okay, so I feel like there's multiple messages coming in, and I feel like there's probably a couple different groups of people here. I think there's a group of people here who this situation relates a little bit more to the Knight of Coins, which is, this is going to be more of a, like, possibly a career choice, because the King of Cups can just talk about, it's not necessarily just emotions. It's not necessarily just, it's desires in general, okay? So it's like, the King of Cups has great emotional maturity when it comes to the way that he deals with his desires. All right, so he's very grounded while at the same time very open emotionally. This is probably like the epitome of someone who is emotionally available, okay? But they're not drowning in their emotions either. They are just very grounded but emotionally available. So that's really what I see with the King of Cups here. So when we're talking about how this relates to your current situation or what this situation is, like I said, I think there's some of you here who have this desire that you've achieved here, or that you've been working towards with lots of emotional maturity. You've formed a nice balance between being grounded while also maintaining this flow within your emotions. You're like in this flow state here. So I think there's a group of you where this is related more to your career. This is related more to your material world. This is related a little bit more to finances. And I think there is another group of you, this is related more to relationships for you, okay? This now, not necessarily romantic relationships, though it could absolutely be that with the Lovers here. This could also be close friendships. This could be, it's most likely close friendships, close, like someone you're in a romantic relationship with. That's something that I'm really feeling here. But I think that there's two groups of you, but either way, you're reaching a milestone here within this situation here. You've reached a milestone and it's time to make a choice. I feel like the energy that you're currently in is this energy of like I said, making a big choice, having to use your intuition because you can't see every single little option that exists here. And I think also this expectation to be vulnerable to a certain extent, or to possibly start anew, to realize some new dreams. Maybe you've got some new dreams kind of coming in here. There's just this sort of amazing transmutation of energy coming in. This is a really a very fortuitous situation, okay? So I feel like overall, this is a really positive situation. This isn't something that's like keeping you up at night, really stressing you out. It's just that there are decisions to make here. Now, I see too something that is being said in this reading to you is this curiosity. As soon as I put this down, I thought, maintain your curiosity. Remain curious about about the situation. So I think that that's some advice coming through. We can get into that a little bit later as we go through here, as we go through this blind spot and what they want you to know. So let's jump into these and then we'll move on to our oracle cards here, because I'm definitely seeing messages that coincide with this. So we'll start with this. So Two of Swords here, Two of Coins. Okay, there's decisions to be made here. Two of Swords is talking about making a decision between two different thought processes, possibly two different ideas to a certain extent. Let's see, but ideas more in like higher thought, right? Because the wands can kind of talk about ideas a little bit. They can talk about creativity, this fiery creativity, like this creative spark, whereas swords talk more about higher thought, higher intelligence, kind of the mind, you know, is kind of what we're talking about when we're looking at swords here. So there's choices here to be made. Pile number one. And I think that you know this with the Lovers card too. There's choices to be made here. You're kind of at an impasse. You've kind of reached an impasse and you're trying to make a decision here. So Two of Swords here. I see that you can't see all of the options. You don't necessarily know the full outcome, which was something that I was really feeling with the High Priestess as well. Is like you're currently blinded a little bit here. Kind of flying by the seat of your pants is kind of the phrase that's coming to mind here. And I see with the moon here, we actually Two of Swords, we've got the moon in the background, and then you actually do have the moon major arcana card here in your reading as well. So Two of Swords here, this is once again a call to use your intuition. I think, and with the moon as well, honestly, I think that something that you're not seeing or possibly not realizing, a blind spot here, I feel like is this insistence upon trying to do this in the most practical way possible, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I am not saying to make impractical choices that make no freaking sense or don't, like, there's no common sense behind them, there's no rhyme or reason. That is not what I am saying here. I think what's being said here, what I'm hearing here, is to not try to be so practical that you prevent yourself, that you stifle yourself here. With this, I think that you need to allow yourself to be blindfolded and use your intuition, follow your intuition with this. I feel like you're fighting that a little bit, is kind of what I'm seeing here with the Seven of Wands. It's like I feel like you're really fighting this. I almost feel like you're fighting this urge to be super, super, super practical, but at the same, like, it's like I said, there's kind of two groups of you here. There's a part of you who is, you know that you need to use your intuition. You know you feel some type of way about it. It's a really nagging feeling, I think. And you're really trying to use your intuition, but sometimes when we're looking at our reality around us, it's really hard to let go of that, of the attachments to that, and go, you know what? No, I'm going to go with what I feel like is best. I'm going to go with my intuition here with this. I'm going to go with my gut feeling, even if on the surface, maybe it doesn't make the most sense to someone on the outside looking in, right? So I think sometimes, a lot of times, I think when we tend to ignore or push away our intuition, those gut feelings that we're having, I think a lot of times we're doing that because we're kind of concerned about how people are going to view us and view our situation, or the types of opinions that they're going to have of the way that we've chosen to move in the situation. So I kind of feel like that's kind of your situation here. It's like, for this one group, it's like you really want to use your intuition here. You really have a feeling about this. You feel some type of way about it, but you're just, it's like the judgment of others is kind of preventing you from from fully diving in and committing to this particular decision here, okay? So I feel like you're kind of fighting off in this situation for this group of people. I feel like you're fighting off the urge to care too much about what others think, okay? So you're fighting that urge to care. You're fighting that urge to to care about what others think, to care about their opinions. But you have to remember, they are on the outside looking in. They are not on the inside looking out. They're not on the inside feeling the feelings, like they don't have the full understanding of the situation like you do. And I think a lot of people, like I said, they really tend to brush off important intuitive moments, important intuition and gut feelings, because they're kind of concerned how they might be viewed by other people if they were to make that decision in that moment with that situation. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is the blind spot that you're seeing is that, or the blind spot overall is that it's like caring too much about the outside world. Okay, now there's another group of people here who are, they're fighting really hard to be as practical as possible. So like I said, we have one group who, just to reiterate, we have one group who is, okay, one group who's mostly focusing here, this desire here, this situation is mostly about their career and their financial situation. We have another group here where this is mostly about relationships for them, and relationships with people, friendships, romantic partnerships, situationships, whatever that is. There's a milestone that's kind of coming up here, and there's two groups of people here. Now, those two groups of people fall in one of these other two groups. And when it comes to making the decision that they're having to make here, like I said, there is one group here that really knows that their intuition is the best way to go, but they're having a really hard time fighting like people-pleasing tendencies and they're fighting people-pleasing tendencies here. They know, that that listening to your intuition is going to be the best thing moving forward. That's the thing that you need to do. But God, sometimes it's hard when you have a lot of voices in your ear, a lot of people on the outside looking in who have opinions. And there are people out there who are very opinionated and they are not afraid to speak their mind, even when it's not necessarily their business or it's not necessarily appropriate for them to do so. Okay. So there's that group of people right there who you're just feeling stuck because you've got a lot of voices around you and people telling you to do something that is more practical, but it doesn't really feel right. It's not sitting right with you, okay? Now, the other group here, I feel like you're trying too hard to be practical, because overall the call is listen to your intuition. No matter which group you fall in here, what your situation is, no matter which group you are here, listen to your intuition. There's a group here that just, it's not that, what is it? It's just that it's scary. That's what I'm feeling, because it's true. Sometimes when you're looking at a situation, especially a big situation, because let's not minimize this. You have the High Priestess, you have the Lovers, you have the Star, and you have a Court card. This is a big situation, okay? So I understand that. We also have the Moon over here too, which is another major arcana card. So this is a major milestone for you, okay? This is a major event going on in your life here, pile number one. So I'm not trying to diminish the importance of that. And in fact, I want to make sure that I'm wanting to make sure that I empathize with you on that, because the thing is that it can be really, really challenging to allow ourselves to listen to our intuition when we look at the practical situation and we don't necessarily, it's like we really want to be as practical as possible. I feel this. I have like a 5-planet stellium in Capricorn. You guys, I feel this so deep in my soul. I know there are times when it's like, God, I know that my gut feeling is telling me this, and it's like I really want to go with that, but my God, when I look at the whole situation, and I'm trying to be as practical as possible, use as much common sense as possible, I'm like, well, but I mean, this here is the best situation for me, or this makes more sense. It feels terrible. It doesn't feel like it's what I should be doing, but it makes the most sense. And sometimes and the thing is what I feel like your blind spot is here is this, for both groups, like bringing this all together now, for both groups, the blind spot is fighting your intuition. Fighting this gut feeling that is telling you, listen, allow yourself to make this choice blindfolded. It's okay that you cannot see behind the curtain. It's okay that it's relatively dark out, and it's only being illuminated by the moonlight, by this very little bit of illumination. Okay, you can't see. It's hard to choose because you can't fully see what's down each path, because on the surface each path looks like it might be all right. But listen to your intuition. Your blind spot right now is your intuition, and I feel like you have a gift here. Okay, and both groups of people here, I feel like there is a gift here that you have been given overall. It's just like an inherent gift that you were born with. I am hearing that some of you have been working very hard on developing this gift and listening to it more. I feel like these are probably the people who fall into the pile or fall into the group of people where it's like you really know what your intuition is saying. It's just that you've got a lot of outside influence that's making it hard to go with it. I feel like there are people here who've definitely been trying to hone their intuition, listen to it more. And that's not to say that the other group isn't doing that as well. I just feel like more of those people are probably in the group who know, they know what they feel about the situation. They know really what they feel like they should do. It's just that sometimes it's really hard to do that in a world where where we're told not to listen to our gut feelings, and everything is very much it's all very mental. Our minds are constantly going and constantly being stimulated and constantly being distracted. And so it's really hard it's almost like it's discouraged to sit still and sit in silence and really, be still and listen to that inner voice, that inner knowing that says, this is really what you should do. This is really what feels best, So I feel like that's the thing here. The blind spot for you guys, for all of you, is that this reluctance to listen to your intuition here. I think it's really, really important for this situation, in order to work out how you're hoping. It is really important to listen to your intuition. Now, coming to curiosity here, when I got curiosity, when we pulled this out, I flipped this over, I immediately heard, staying curious with the situation. Be very curious about the different options here for you, okay? So particularly if you fall into the group that it's like you're being told to use your intuition, you do feel some type of way about the situation, like what would be best, but you're just like, man, I'm just a practical person. I like common sense. This would be the most common sense, practical way to move forward with this. Here, this one is for you, because this is saying be curious about the other option and explore as many options as possible for your like practical mind, okay? For the practical, logical part of your mind that cannot let go and allow you to just make the decision based on your intuition, okay? So I'm hearing here with this curiosity, they need you to be curious about all of your options, because it's going to open up more doors for you. You're going to realize that there are a lot more doors open than what you realize. than what you initially noticed, initially realized. You will notice that there's a lot more avenues. There's way more avenues that you can take here, other than just maybe the few that seem the most practical. There might be something that you're missing here. So be curious about the situation. Be curious about yourself, okay? Listen to yourself. Listen to that inner knowing. Like I said, slow down, take some time, feel it out. What feels right? What feels like it's the right thing to do? And then I'm going to need you, your guides are going to need you to go with that, okay? Because that's really what the blind spot is, making decisions, okay? Making decisions here about this situation and fighting your intuition, all right? Fighting the urge to just go with your intuition, fighting the voices of people around you who are saying, well, that's the most practical, that's the easiest, that makes the most sense, why aren't you doing that? Well, Jan, because sometimes that doesn't feel good. Sometimes that just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like the right choice for me, even though it may make sense to you. But you're not having to live my experience. You're not having to live my life. You don't understand all of the nuances. Your intuition, your experience, you understand the nuances of your situation. Nobody else understands that except you, okay? And so I need you to listen to your own intuition here and utilize these gifts. You have been, I feel like every single one of you, no matter how practical you are and how logical you are, no matter where you fall on that spectrum, you have innate gifts here that you can use. And I think a lot of them they're being underutilized in your life overall, but particularly in this situation. I'm really hearing here that you need to move with your intuition, okay? Even if it doesn't feel like you have the best overall view of where these paths are going, move with your intuition here. Now, moving over here to Stealthy Shark and this Busy Beaver, we have comprehension, progress, improvement. That's exactly what I'm seeing here with you. And the Knight of Coins, the Knights in general, I said Knight of Coins, but we have Coins and Cups. Knights talk about progress. They talk about movement. So this is a situation that is progressing and moving. And I feel like you're coming up on this, it's time to make a decision here as to how you would like to move forward. And I think that, so with progress here, I mean, it's just in order to make further progress, in order to progress and continue, in order to see an improvement in your situation, it is going to be very important for you to use your intuition. And when you do that, I feel like there's going to be, you're going to find that when you listen to your intuition and you don't just go with what seems practical or, what seems like logical and common sense, not that there's anything wrong with those, okay, at all. There's nothing wrong with using common sense, with using logic, with being a little bit skeptical, okay? Nothing wrong with that at all, but we cannot fall back on that and totally ignore the inner feelings, the inner voice, the heart, okay? We can't be all mind and no heart, all right? So I think that whenever you do this, you're going to find yourself and just, things are going to be, I just feel like this situation will be much more efficient for you. Life is going to cooperate with you a little bit more when you make the decision based on your intuition in this particular circumstance. And honestly, I would say in every circumstance, because there's plenty of times where the feeling that you feel, the intuition, the inner knowing, that whenever you allow yourself to be still and kind of feel it out, a lot of times that does end up lining up with what is common sense and logical and practical. You will find that a lot of times those things line up quite well. Okay, so this is not to say throw logic out the window. This is only to say stop disregarding your intuition and that inner feeling. Stop throwing this out the window. in favor of logic every single time, because that's not helping you. And it's actually a huge blind spot. And it's something that you're not seeing here. It's a detail that you're missing. The detail that you're missing is that you're not trusting your intuition and trusting that inner knowing. I feel like you know what it is that you need to do. You know deep down what is best for you. It's just there's lots of noise in your mind. There's lots of noise outside around you. And it's like distracting you and preventing you from committing to this choice to go with what feels best for you, pile number one. So that is where I'm seeing that your blind spot is with this situation here. It's trying to make choices based on logic alone, or making choices or knowing that you need to use your intuition, but hearing lots of voices and noise around you, outside of you, that's making you doubt yourself. Okay, so that is what I'm seeing for you, pile number one. Thank you so much for watching the reading. If this resonated, please like the video, leave a comment down below also to let me know if there's any topics you'd like to see in future videos. Please subscribe to the channel too. It helps so much, and I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye. Hello, pile number two. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the Modern Witch Tarot deck here. And I have the Oracle decks here that we will be pulling cards from. We're going to pull everything at the very beginning, and then we're going to start reading for you. We're going to be taking a look today to see where your blind spot is in the situation that you're dealing with. What details are you missing? Where are these details kind of located at? Okay. What details do your guides want to point out to you so that you can experience more success in this situation going forward? I felt like right now is a perfect time to do this reading because we are under the influence of the new moon in Virgo, and Virgo is an earth sign that is very grounded. She's very practical. She's very detail oriented. She's very organized. And I felt like what better time than now to do this. Now, this is a timeless reading, however, so if you are seeing this way later, you know, just that this is just the energy that this was filmed under. Does it influence the reading for you in the future? Yeah, it does a little bit, just because it's the energy that I've read under, but that doesn't mean that this cannot apply to future situations. So let's go ahead and jump in. We're going to pull Oracle cards first, then we'll pull tarot cards. And we'll take a look to see where your blind spot is, pile number two. So, well, we have three that want to come out for you. So, we have observation, perspective. It's always interesting when subsequent cards or cards like in order come out, just because I like shuffle the decks, all these decks like crazy in between every reading. Okay, and we have direction. And then over here with this one, we have Brawny Bear with power, inner strength, and rejuvenation. It says, mighty guardian of the woods, connect me to the power of the earth. Okay. Let's get started here. We'll pull your tarot cards. We're going to do, so this first row will be, this will be the situation. And then the next row will be, let's move this guy out of the way a little bit. The next row will be the blind spot, or the details that you're missing that your guides want to point out to you. Okay. Oh, okay, that one definitely wanted to come out. I got this guy, gonna leave that one and that one. Let's take a look here. We'll start with these. We have Temperance. We have Three of Cups. Sorry, I'm turning them over kind of off camera first because this deck does have nudity and I want to cover that up so we don't get like shadow banned by YouTube here. We have Knight of Pentacles. And we have Eight of Swords. Okay. Then we have Six of Pentacles, Two of Cups, the Chariot, and Queen of Cups. Okay, let me take a look here and kind of feel this out, what this situation is first and foremost here. Let's see, there's a balance being struck. We have the Temperance card, so this and the Chariot down here. So this is probably a pretty big milestone for you, a pretty, or I don't know, milestone's probably not the right word, but probably a pretty big situation, event in your life with these major arcana cards that we're seeing here. So this is probably something that's, you probably know what this situation is. Might have even had it in mind when you clicked on this reading here, but I feel like this has to do with other people, with working with other people, particularly with the Knight of Pentacles here, paired or kind of over here with our Three of Cups. So this is talking about, you know, working, well, Three of Cups talks about celebration with some of our close friends, you know, but Knight of Pentacles is definitely talking about our material world, our finances, our careers. And then Eight of Swords here is, it talks about feeling trapped, okay? So I feel like you're in a situation where you're trying to find balance here. You're trying to find balance. If you notice too, she's got this kind of rainbow sweater on here, which kind of makes me think of equality. So, you know, we've got one foot in the water, one foot on land. So we're like grounded, but we're also very much in tune with our feelings, our emotions, our intuition. We're finding balance here between these two cups. We're pouring like this intuition, this water, this flow here. And then, like I said, with her rainbow sweater, it really does feel like this is talking about equality. That's what comes to my mind personally, okay? So I'm seeing here that you're trying to strike a balance and somewhere in your life, okay? Possibly in the way that you relate with others, possibly in the way that you relate with others at work, with your job. But I feel like there's this, you're feeling trapped in this situation. There's something about this situation that has made you feel a little bit trapped here. I'm going to get two more clarifiers for this situation, get a little bit more insight here over what this might be. I want to make sure, well, there's three that came out, so we have Six of Cups. We have Six of Wands. Oh, the six energy is interesting. And we have Ace of Pentacles. Okay. All right. Pile number 2. I see here you're trying to strike a balance. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe I didn't see this. Three of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. It feels like you're trying to strike a balance between like your personal life, your desires, like your desire for relationship with others, and not necessarily romantic relationship though. I mean, it could be that here, but what I'm really feeling is it's just like the way that you relate to others, your relationships, your friendships. It's like you're trying to strike a balance between your, like I said, your home life, your personal life, and possibly your work life, okay? And you're feeling a bit trapped in that. You're not quite sure what direction to go with this. I think you're having a hard time. I think you enjoy your job. I think that's why this is kind of becoming a bit challenging. I feel like this pressure might be coming from the outside to find some balance, or maybe even coming internally or from internally, where you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed and possibly burnt out. But what you're just trying to strike a balance between fun and work is that's really what I'm seeing here. And I think that what makes this so challenging for you is that you have a lot of great things in the works with your career, with your job here. There's lots of great things that you're working on. And there are things that you're being celebrated for. I feel like you're really being celebrated for all of this hard work here, and you're being celebrated by both your work situation and your personal situation. I think you have a lot of people in your life who are very proud of you, and they're very proud of how far you've come and all that you've accomplished. But I feel like you're now in this situation where you're feeling a little bit trapped, or like you're like your hands are tied. That's kind of what this feels like here. Like let me move this little Ace of Pentacles. You guys, I love my acrylics, but good Lord. It makes this so hard with my current like table situation because I can't like reach from the top and pull it off. But anyways, so with this Eight of Swords here, it just feels like your hands are tied. You know, that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting here, is that your hands are tied. You feel blindfolded, like you feel like you don't really know, you don't really see the best outcome. You don't really see a way out of this. You can't really see a way out of this. You can't really, it's like it's hard for you to get out of your head and look around, because the swords are like the mind here. It's like you're being trapped by your mind, and you're having a hard time getting out of your head so that you can kind of remove the proverbial blindfold and take a look around and see different options available to you here. I think that that is something that I'm really feeling with observation for you here, is that and perspective too, honestly, perspective, this reminds me so much of the Hanged Man. It's probably kind of what it's echoing here, because the Hanged Man is turned upside down, and the Hanged Man, major arcana tarot card, he's turned upside down, and he has placed himself in that position so that he can gain a better perspective. I feel like that is your situation. I feel like that's what this is really requiring here. First of all, it's going to require a different perspective. I feel like you're having a hard time with that though, because you're feeling very blinded. Your mind is very clouded right now. You feel very like your hands are tied, like you can't really see a way forward. And I think what makes this so much more challenging for you is that you have a lot of wonderful things happening for you on both sides. Yes. This is all about balance. I'm seeing this even more now. So we have the Six of Wands here. So there's like this celebration of how wonderful you're doing at work, okay, in your career. I feel like you're very celebrated. You're very good at what you do. You're very appreciated at your place of employment, or within your career, in your business, whatever this is for you personally, your studies, whatever this may be. You're very celebrated in this. I think a lot of people celebrate you, and they appreciate all of the hard work that you do, and they appreciate your talents and what it is that you bring to the table. They know you bring a lot to the table, and they really appreciate the way, it's like they really appreciate the way that you move within the business world, the way that you move within your career, okay? The way that you take care of clients, the way that you take care of your coworkers, of your employees. I think that there's lots of celebration there with that. On the flip side too, I'm seeing that there's also lots of celebration from your personal life about the type of person you are. It's like you're a very compassionate, giving person. You care a lot about your family. This kind of makes me feel, now you don't have to necessarily have children. This is like a very specific message for just a few of you. But if it resonates, take it. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. But it feels like you're maybe a parent. It almost feels like you're possibly a single parent. That's very specific. Might not be for probably not for everyone here, but that might be your situation. You are a very giving, loving, caring person overall though. And, you know, no matter, like, for all of you here, you're very caring, you're very giving, you're very loving. You care a lot about your family. You care a lot about your legacy. I'm feeling like what you can pass on to future generations. You care a lot about that. Your inner circle, your personal life matters a lot to you, and the people in your personal life matter a lot to you. And so I feel like you're in this situation where you're trying to find balance between, or trying to find balance in the way that you split your energy between your personal life and your professional life. And I think what makes it so challenging is that you are celebrated and appreciated and loved in both areas. And so it's not like you can go, oh, well, they don't even appreciate me at work. They're not getting my extra time. They're not getting my extra energy. Forget them. It's the people in my personal life who truly care about me and who truly love me and who truly celebrate me and see my potential and everything that I am. So that's who I'm giving most of my attention to. I don't feel like that is your situation. I feel like you are, I just feel like you are very much appreciated in your job, which congratulations, because that's a big deal. Most people are not. Most people are nothing more than a number. They are nothing more. If something were to happen to them today, there'd be a job posting up for their position tomorrow, that type of situation. So I want to say, first of all, congratulations for placing yourself in a situation where you are so highly valued and you are actually celebrated for like what you bring to the table, pile number 2. So first of all, let me congratulate you on that. And also in this amazing personal life that you have cultivated as well. So all wonderful things here. I think you've got a lot of great positive things going on here. I think that's what was so challenging about trying to read this first situation here is it's like there's all this positive energy, but then we have the 8 of Swords. So I think you're feeling trapped and you're not quite sure where to go from here when it comes to finding balance within these two worlds for you. So let's move on here to the blind spot, okay? The details that you're missing here. All right, so first of all, I think that one of the first things, like I said, I kind of touched on it before, is perspective. I think that it's going to be important to hear someone's perspective on the situation. I feel like you might be getting, I feel like this imbalance is being brought to your attention by another party. Okay. I feel like it's most likely your personal life, your family, people saying, hey, you're working too hard. You're working too much. All you do is work. All you do is talk about work. All you care about is work. And I don't really feel like this is work saying, hey, all you do is talk about your family. All you do is care about your family. You don't care enough about work. I just don't get that feeling from this reading at all. Like that's just not the feeling that I'm getting, that you're like not dedicating enough to work. I feel like you are doing that and more. I feel like you're giving 110% to yourself in your career, or 110% of yourself to your career, and to whatever this goal, the financial, material, career, studying, whatever that may be for you, goal that you're working on here. But I think you're receiving some pushback from your personal life where people are like, hey, you're spending all your time doing that. You're spending all your time, at work. That's what you do most. You've kind of fallen off the map. We haven't heard from you in a while because that's all you do, or you expend all of your energy at work. And so by the time you get home, you don't really want to spend time with us, or you're tired, or you're worn out, or you're working overtime, or whatever it is. This is a general reading. There's going to be a lot of different little nuances and details with that are going to differ a little bit, but what your situation is, hopefully this is resonating for you, and you know what it is that I'm talking about generally, and you can go, yep, that's pretty much the gist of it. So I feel like it's going to be important to see a different perspective in this situation, or listen to the other party's perspective. I think that's a blind spot here for you. I feel like you might get a bit defensive whenever you are faced with this different perspective. I feel like you might, because you care so much about this, because your career matters so much. It's something that you've worked super, super hard for, and you're actually being appreciated in your job. And that is pretty rare. And I feel like that that's pretty rare. So, I feel like there's this new perspective, there's this different perspective that you need to have on this, and possibly the answer lies within this different perspective, maybe taking a different perspective of this. I see observation as well here, I see this as, I think, okay. So perspective, also with the hangman and perspective, it talks about taking a break, okay? Taking a moment to just hang there, to just hang out and see a different perspective. I think that you're the type of person who likes to problem solve. I kind of get that feeling from you. You like to problem solve. That's something that you like. You like to weigh out your options. You like to feel like you can make a decision with, I don't know. I just feel like you're the type of person you like to make decisions fast. You like to weigh out your options. You're very mentally, like, I think that's why this Eight of Swords, I think that's why you feel a little bit trapped here, because I think that you are very mentally active. You like to use your mind quite a bit. You like to problem solve. And you like to actively problem solve, okay? I am seeing here that in order to know what direction you need to take this, how you need to spread out your energy, how you need to divvy up your energy, it's going to be different for every single person here. So there's not like a one size fits all that's going to relate to every single person watching this pile. However, what will relate to every single person watching this pile who picked this intuitively is going to be the need to hang out for a second and stop trying to problem solve. Stop trying to immediately go into problem solving mode, okay? Take some time and listen to the perspective of whoever it is that's calling this to your attention, because I feel like there's someone calling this to your attention. See a different perspective, hang out there for a bit, and just observe, okay? Observe, pay attention, have some self-awareness. Where does your energy go at the end of the day? How do you treat those around you whenever you get off of work, whenever you're done, whenever you move from this area of your life into this area of your life on a daily basis? Because we don't, like, you might be the type of person who wakes up, lives, breathes, eats, work. You know, that might be your everything. But there is a moment, there are inevitably moments where we have downtime, where we can I just want you, your guides want you to take some time here and observe where your energy is going and the way that you're expending your energy. Is it possible that you are moving? Is it possible that you are moving too fast with this? And what I'm saying with that, your thoughts move too fast. You try to move things too fast in your life. You try to force things, because what can happen is this can sap our energy when we're trying to make things happen, like go, 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 go. But sometimes there's no place to go. The going is just flowing, okay? That's the only going that's happening, is just flowing. We can't make someone respond to an email faster to get the information that we need so we can move forward on a project. We can't make clients we can't increase clients' budgets that they have to spend within their company, or whatever it is that your thing is, you know. We can't, there's certain things that we just cannot force. And when we try to force and we create all this resistance to the resistance that comes back to us. You know, we try to push something forward, we get some resistance, and then we try to push back even more, and then we get even more resistance. That's kind of the way the world works. I feel like you expend a lot of energy just expending energy, okay? I think that it's important to find, like, because once again, here with the Six of Pentacles, I saw that it's like trying to weigh your options, trying to decide where it is that you, like, what to do with this situation, who's more important, what's more important, what do I prioritize. I think you need a new perspective. I think that what you really need to decide is, where can I find a balance between pushing forward and letting off the gas. Okay. There's a balance between flooring it and breaking it, like when you're in traffic. I live in an area of the US that is very it is very car dependent. There's virtually no public transportation. So everybody drives, even people who maybe shouldn't be driving. And you have people who make traffic worse, and they hold up. They prevent the energy from flowing. They prevent traffic from just flowing because they are so impatient in life, and they expend tons of energy. They'll floor it. There'll be a gap, a gap maybe a car long, 2 cars long. And instead of just moving forward at an even pace, flowing with traffic, they will floor it and they'll slam on their brakes. And so everyone behind them who can't necessarily see everything going on, they're all like, oh, we're going fast. So then you've got people back there flooring it and slamming on their brakes. And it actually slows traffic even more because everyone's having to come to a complete stop, right? Because they're flooring it, and it actually prevents the traffic from flowing. The same thing happens with our energy when we force and force and force, because what we're doing is, number one, when you're doing that in your car, what are you doing whenever you floor it and hit the gas, or floor it and hit the brake and floor it and hit the brake? You're wasting gas, first of all. You're just emptying your tank. You're just using a bunch of fuel to get your car up to that speed, that energy level, that horsepower, and then you are shutting it down and slamming on the brakes. So that momentum has, so you're just stopping the momentum. Well, when you do that, you basically wasted all of the fuel you put in your vehicle, all of the fuel that was just dumped into your engine to make that happen. And I know this is a crazy analogy, but I just feel like it needs to be said. I don't know. It's flowing, it's happening. We're doing it. We're saying it. I feel like you need to know that that's what you're doing when you're trying to floor it in life. You're trying to floor it in your career. You're trying to floor it on a daily basis, because I feel like that's the energy here. It's this energy of trying to floor it and make things happen. Just make things happen like that, but that it just is not flowing like that. Things flow. That's just not gonna work, fam. It's just not gonna work, my friend. It's just not. It's much better to just ease into it, because like I said, when you're flooring it and slamming on your brakes, you're wasting fuel. When you're doing that in your life with situations, you're wasting your energy, and you will find yourself run down by the end of the day if you are in this frantic, that's what it is. It's this frantic energy of flooring it and then you get stopped, and then flooring it and then you get stopped. It's this hurry up and wait type of thing. And it doesn't have to be like that all the time. I understand that there are situations that we think, oh, things are moving, and then they make us wait. And I get that happens, but I don't feel like that's necessarily the full situation here. I feel like it's just lots of energy that is being expended unnecessarily because of this insistence upon pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, possibly in your career, in your day-to-day life. Because what we do also is we expend a lot of emotional energy whenever we are super, super concerned about things that we have no control over. We have no control over, when Jan in accounting is going to get back with us on those numbers. We have no control over. There's so many things that we just don't have full control over, and it's honestly just best to not worry about things we don't have control over. And I know that that's much easier said than done, but I think that whole analogy and that whole tangent just needed to be said, because that is the energy that I'm feeling here, is this energy of trying to push, and I think part of it is your personality. I think you're a go-getter. I think you're very ambitious. I think you're very highly motivated. I'm sure that is why you are so celebrated and appreciated and valuable. in your job, in your career. But I think that what it's doing, it is the way that you're going about it is draining your energy to where you have nothing more to give to the other people in your life who matter to you in your personal life. And I think that that's what's happening here. And I feel like this has been called out by somebody, possibly by a significant other here with the Two of Cups. Okay, I'm just seeing though lots of need for balance here. And we've got, like I said, Six of Pentacles here, which I feel like it's very much talking about balancing, weighing options. And I think that that's what you need to achieve here, is this balance here. Two of Cups too talks about, Two of Cups can talk about like romantic relationships. So this could be a romantic partner, like I said, who is pointing this out. This could just be someone that you are very committed to, that you care a lot about, who is pointing this out and saying, hey, you come home at the end of the day and you have absolutely zero energy for any of us, and you're really short with all of us, or you're really short with me, and you're really just like, you don't ever want to do anything, and it's because you're expending so much energy forcing things to happen. I think they're just not going to happen in the time frame that you would like them to. The world just doesn't go without a break. There are natural breaks and ebbs and flows within life and within our day. And so we need to allow for that. We do not have to push. So I think here that a new perspective, I think, first of all, you need to very much consider the perspective of whoever is bringing this up to you. I think it's also very important to observe where your energy is going throughout the day this next week, because you're going to be getting this this should be dropped on Friday. So this next week, your next work week, the next time you go and clock in or go to your job or whatever that is, take some time and observe your energy. Observe what you are expending your energy on. What is getting you hyped up? What is getting you worked up? And are these things that you have control over? Are you resisting flow? And are you being frantic? Because when we're being frantic, like I said, all that does is slow us down and hold us up and waste energy, waste our fuel. Okay, it wastes our internal fuel when we do that. And so I'm seeing here that you will know what direction it is you need to take whenever you allow yourself to, like I said, listen to someone else's perspective and observe where your energy is going. I think when you do that, you are going to find yourself in balance again. You are also going to find this nice emotional balance. You're going to find that whenever you find balance between your career, between this, I would say almost this this masculine energy of achieving, and then we have this feminine energy of receiving, you're going to find yourself, not only will you be much more balanced, but you're going to find that you have a lot more energy overall. Your cup is going to be full. You're going to look into your cup and go, wow, at the end of the day, I still have a full cup. I still have my cup is full, because you can't pour from an empty cup. And I feel like this is something that pile number 2. You know that you can't pour from an empty cup or a mostly empty cup. You know that by the end of the day, when you get home, you've given it your all. And when you've poured out your entire cup in one spot of your life, then you don't have anything to give to the other parts of your life. And I think a lot of this coming out of your cup, it's just sloshing out. I think it's just sloshing out, and it's being wasted on things that do not, I'm not going to say that they don't matter, because I don't think that that's not really correct. And I'm not trying to trivialize the things that matter so much to you that you feel like you need to push. But I think being frantic and having this frantic energy is really holding you back, and you're sloshing a lot out of your cup. You're losing a lot of energy by doing that. So, and I think you're not even aware, and I think that something here, you're not even totally aware that you're doing this. This is your blind spot. You're not even really aware that you're losing so much out of your cup by pushing things so hard, and not finding balance here. I think it's knocking you off balance, and I think that you're not even aware of it. Pile number 2, I think that that's why you're being called here to, have some self-awareness here. Observe the way that you react to situations. Where are you expending energy, and what is being expended unnecessarily? What is actually productive, and what is actually just frantic? Okay, because frantic energy, panicking is not productivity. They are not the same. In fact, when we're panicking and when we're frantic, we are actually less productive. We're actually less efficient. Okay. So I think here that that's really what I'm seeing. And then 2 with this brawny bear, and I feel like we're going to wrap it up with, because it really goes hand in hand with this Queen of Cups, and I love it. She has this like beautiful little blue, like what are these little blueberries? It's adorable. All around this little sweet bear. And we have this nice like blue card right here with the Queen of Cups. I think you're going to find yourself so rejuvenated whenever you allow yourself to power here. Take your power back from these situations. You're really giving your power away when you react with this frantic energy, with this, panicky energy that's not actually productive, pile number 2. So I think that that's your blind spot here. I think you're wasting a lot of energy, and it's making it hard for you to find balance whenever you're done with work for the day. You just don't have the energy left. Your cup is totally empty. And I think that I think what's hard is that your cup is often filled by others. I think you have others in your life who care a lot about you, and they want to help you fill your cup. Same here. We have the 2 of Cups here, and I feel like you're this person here who's very grounded. And I see this person here in this like watery area where they're a little bit more emotional, or I don't know, that's not really the right. They're just a little bit more in tune with their emotions, possibly. They're just a little more, just that receiving energy more so than the achieving energy. But I think your cup is filled by the people in your life, partially. And I think that they'll be able, but you have to have the energy for them, obviously. If you don't have the energy for them, they can't help you fill your cup, because your cup is just so totally empty. You don't even have a tiny bit to reciprocate, so yours can be filled up. So I think that you're going to find that when you really take some time to do a little bit of reflection, take a little bit of time, and be a little more self-aware about the way that you expend your energy and the way that you move within the world, particularly within your career, you're going to find that you have a lot more to give at the end of the day. I think you're going to see that you expend a lot of energy unnecessarily. And I think this situation will resolve fairly quickly too with the Chariot here. The Chariot has had a couple messages for us. I got that traffic, whole thing from the Chariot partially, because I feel like you do try to move things very, very fast. But you get stuck a lot of times. There's just lots of like little roadblocks, because that's just kind of how things work, and we just can't have things moving all the time. But I think the Chariot 2 here is telling us that once you become aware of these things and you start working on these things, you're gonna feel much better very quick, like pretty quickly. You will resolve this situation very quickly. You will find balance again between your work life and your personal life, and giving to work and giving to the people in your life that you love. You'll find a balance there, and it will happen quite quickly. It's just a matter of slowing down, taking a new perspective, and observing your habits and the way that you expend your energy. But anyways, pile number 2, this is what I see for you. I wish you all the best in this situation. If this reading resonated for you, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Also leave some, oh my gosh, leave some, my brain, you guys. I swear it's all the retrograde energy. And it's super cloudy and rainy outside. So that just like, I love the sun. So that kind of breaks my brain a little bit. But anyways, subscribe to the channel because it helps so much. Like the video if it resonated for you. Leave some topics, things that you'd like to see on the channel in the comment section down below. I absolutely want to start incorporating those into our readings every week. But anyways, I wish you all the best, pile number 2. Thank you so much. I want to thank your guide so much too for coming through to give you this message, and I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the Pulp Magazine Tarot deck, and we have the 2 oracle decks that we will be pulling cards from today. We're going to pull everything on camera here for you, and then we'll lay them all out, and then we will start reading here for you, and we will take a look to see where your blind spot is, what details you're missing with your current situation. I felt like this would be the perfect reading to do at this time. We have the new moon in Virgo. Virgo is an earth sign. It talks a lot about being grounded while also being very productive, being detail oriented, being organized. And I think that that's an energy that we can all really tap into during this time while we move forward with the new things we're trying to bring into our lives with this new moon. Now, this is a timeless reading, so if you are seeing this sometime in the future, that is not to say that this is not for you because of the energy that this is being read under. This is just simply the energy that I'm working with today as I read these cards for you guys. But let's go ahead and let's get into this and see where your blind spot is, or blind spots are, and what details it is that you're missing in your current situation. I'm feeling this one, and then this guy at the bottom just wants to slip out. So we have sacred, I'm gonna go ahead and turn these over for you. Displacement and sacred space. And then let's go ahead and pull these for you. What is pile number 3 not seeing with their situation? Ooh, we have magical moon. All right, we will put her over. No, we can put her right here. Everybody's cards have come out a little different like number of oracle cards. So I'm just trying to feel it out and decide what's best for you guys. It's interesting. This magical moon card is the only card in this oracle deck that isn't actually an animal. These are all animals, and she's the only one that isn't. So that's very interesting, and we will be getting into that in a minute. Let's go ahead and pull your tarot cards. What is the situation that your guides want to highlight here, that they feel like you're missing something in? And then what details are you not... Ooh, okay. What details are you not seeing? All right, let's turn these over and let's find out. Starting with the situation. So we have the 9 of Pentacles. We have the Queen of Cups. We have the 8 of Pentacles. And we have the Ace of Pentacles. Wow, okay. Every single person, every single pile rather, has been like, everyone's situation is really, it's overall like very positive. It's just like these little snags, these little details that we're all not seeing, that are needing to be pointed out so that we can be more successful and experience even more success in these situations. So this is really interesting. It's just like by the time we get to these further piles, it's like I start to see the like synchronicities here. Let's see, what is it that you're not seeing, that you're missing here? King of Cups, 9 of Swords, the Hierophant, and 9 of Wands. Okay. Interesting. All right. Pile number 3. So, first of all, the situation that we're talking about, it definitely feels like work. Okay. And I don't mean the situation feels like it's work, like you got to work hard. You might feel that way, but the situation feels like it's your career. It feels like it has to do with your career. That's something that's coming up for a lot of people too. I think just in general, we're all the collective is kind of dealing with that. That's very Virgo of her. But so I feel like this definitely has to do with work. This definitely has to do with your job. Seems like, so you've been quite successful. There's success coming in. I see with the 8 of Pentacles here, you've been working to master something. You've been working on mastering something here, working quite hard at something. And by hard, it doesn't really feel like it's really hard labor, hard manual labor, like it's been very much a challenge. I just think that you've been very dedicated and committed to working on something here with the 8 of Pentacles. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles too. So it's like this feeling of new opportunities coming in, new financial opportunities arising, new streams of income possibly. We've got 9 of Pentacles, which talks a lot about just having all of your needs met, living in a bit of luxury. This woman here, she's very glamorous. She's very luxurious. We've got we've got the grapes in the background. We have like all these awards that she's won. She's all these accolades. She's very celebrated. I feel like with the 9 of Pentacles, this is talking a lot about personal satisfaction within the material realm for you, within your career, within your finances. I feel like you are set up in you are definitely set with this situation. I think work is going very well for you. And we have the Queen of Cups here too. So Queen of Cups talks about being very balanced emotionally between your emotional state and your material state, mind state. This is about having some emotional maturity. This is about being emotionally available. And Queen of Cups in particular is about allowing your cup to be filled. Just allowing your cup to be filled mostly. Allowing yourself to receive that from others in your life here. Really sitting back, you can see here she's very comfortable. I notice a lot of the Queen of Cups cards, their feet are in the water. I like how she has these blue pumps on, these blue heels on to kind of demonstrate that. We've got this green chair. She's very grounded though at the same time. She's very grounded, very comfortable. She's allowing her cup to be filled here. She seems very entertained as well by something else going on here. So that's the overall vibe that I'm getting here for you, is this, the situation has to do with work and the way that you receive, emotional fulfillment from that, possibly. I do want to pull a couple of clarifiers here for you, just get a kind of a better idea of what this is for you, a little bit more about the situation. So, that one and this one wanted to come out. So, we have the Knight of Cups and we have the Fool. Okay. So a new journey, you're starting something new, it feels like. We've got Ace of Pentacles, we've got the Fool, we have the Knight of Cups as well. So you're going after something that you really desire, something that you really wanted in your life. And you look too, he's got like his hand up almost. It almost looks like, let me see. Is that like a I'm just trying to better understand the imagery of this card. I haven't pulled this card very often. To me, it looks like he has like his hand over his eyes where he's like shielding his eyes so he can see in the distance, so he can, like he's discovering something, like he's looking for something here. And I think that's kind of what you're doing is the situation here is you're kind of on this new journey. I think you're very, you've built, let's see, you've built a foundation for yourself with your career, with your job situation, with your finances, and you're very comfortable, but you're wanting something new. You're looking for something new. You're looking for like a new stream of revenue, something new to invest in, possibly with this, extra stuff that you've been given here, or not extra, but this like abundance that you have, right? Because this person, the Knight of Cups, they don't just have their needs met, they have more than their own needs met, right? And so I feel like you're ready to go on this new journey and in search of a good, like a new investment, new streams of income. This feels very practical, okay? This feels like it's something like that. Like possibly you're looking for a new career. Maybe you feel like this career has kind of run its course and you're searching for a new one, something that really meets more of your desires than what this other one did. This other career has, or maybe something that can, like I said, you're searching for some sort of additional income. There's some sort of new journey here that you're starting with. And I still feel with the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups too coming out, it's like this is providing you with some sort of emotional fulfillment, or you receive quite a bit of emotional fulfillment here from this. And that brings me to this displacement card over here on the left, okay? So displacement, this particular card talks about like misplaced anger. So this can talk about a couple of things. It's basically talking about misplaced emotion, okay? It's talking about, maybe like examples. It's talking about, having a bad day at work, coming home and being crappy to everybody at home because, you had a bad day at work, and who you're really angry at is your boss or the clients you had to deal with or the situation that you're dealing with, but you're coming home and you're taking it out on someone else. You're taking it out on the person that it has nothing to do with. Or this could be the flip side, you're allowing that to happen to you. You're allowing that to happen to you, and you're allowing someone to do that to you, and you're experiencing that. So that's kind of generally what that card talks about. What I feel like it really is in this situation, I feel like it really feels like you're searching for emotional fulfillment in an area of your life that is not going to truly give you that. Pile number 3. That's kind of what this feels like. It feels like you're searching. It's like, especially with the way that these laid out, because when I first laid these cards out, I thought, oh, the Fool, well, that really, I guess I should have put that over here by the Ace of Pentacles, this new journey, this new thing. But I ended up that's not how they came out. And I didn't switch them because I was like, no, I really feel like it needs to be over here. And so we have the Knight of Cups here. He's like searching for his desires. He's got his cup. He's looking for something to fill his cup. He's searching for this desire, something to fill this. And we have him looking over here towards this Ace of Pentacles in your reading. This really feels like you're looking for emotional fulfillment in all the wrong places. You're focusing so heavily on career, on money, on wealth, on physical things, physical pleasures, whatever these things may be for you. This is a general reading. Everybody has their own vices. Everybody has their own things. Everybody has, I feel like even addiction can be a form of displacement, because we're using something that has nothing to do with the actual situation. It doesn't actually help our situation, but it helps us feel better about the situation, right? So that's kind of like displacement there, but I don't see that that's what this is talking about. That just kind of felt like it needed to come out. So maybe that's a message here for someone if they needed to hear that engaging in activities or with substances, that like using those to cope is also a form of displacement as well. And that could also be what this is talking about for someone here, or for a select few people possibly. Like I said, that's very specific though. That may not be the case for the majority of you. It's just overall this feeling of looking for your desires to be met in the wrong places, searching for the wrong places, using the wrong thing to meet these desires. That's kind of what I'm feeling here for you. That's kind of, I think on the surface, what it is you're looking for that next big thing. You're looking for that next big rush. You're looking for that next big thing that's going to make a huge difference for you in your life, or what feels like the next big thing that's going to fill your cup and make you feel desired. And you go, once I have this, I will be fulfilled. Once I have the new car, I will feel so much better. Once I will be happy. Once I have the new house, I will be happy. Once I have the new handbag, I will be happy. Once I, have this new stream of income, then I'll finally be happy. That's what I'm feeling here. Like this situation is like, it's almost like what wants to come out is like searching for love in all the wrong places is kind of what this feels like. It's like you're searching for this desire to be met, but you're looking in the wrong place. You're looking so hard at the material realm. And I think that this is actually, it's just providing you with cheap, it feels like this is you're just getting some cheap wish knockoff version of whatever true happiness you could actually experience, is kind of what I'm feeling here. I think you're preventing yourself. I think this displacement, this, like I said, looking for your desires, your true heartfelt desires to be met by solely material things, material wealth. I think it's harming you more than hurting you. I think there's a wound there that needs to be examined and uncovered, quite honestly. Pile number 3. I want to kind of, before we get into this, I want to kind of put a little disclaimer out here saying that money is not the root of all evil. I think that that's a limiting belief that a lot of people have, particularly people who grew up in situations or in homes where that's what they were told, because possibly they didn't have financial freedom. Their parents didn't have financial freedom. They felt like they had a really limiting belief around that and felt like that was never something that they would be able to achieve. So I want to start off by saying that I don't subscribe to that belief that money is the root of all evil. I think there are people who do bad things regardless of how much money they have. I think that money can buy happiness in the sense that it allows you to have stability, and until we have stability and our core needs met, we can't start searching for happiness and find happiness or experience that and experience joy and experience self-actualization until we have our baseline needs met. That's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Really is like, if that's something you're interested in, you can Google that. Maslow's hierarchy of needs just talks about how we have to have our core needs met of, food, safety, shelter, basic things met before we can start looking at self-actualization. So here's the thing, pile number 3. So this reading is not to demonize money or having nice things or searching for money, or anything like that. Like, go get that coin, 100%. rooting you on. That's wonderful and amazing. And it seems like you're actually in that spot where you do have your needs met. And you are finally at the point where you can, like, I feel like you've worked, we've got the Eight of Pentacles here. I feel like you've worked very, very hard for what it is that you've achieved here, physically, materially in this lifetime. You've worked very hard for it. I feel like you're someone who knows what it's like to not have stability, who you know what it's like to not be able to make rent. You know what it's like to have to choose between keeping the lights on and keeping food in the fridge, and then you've got the choice for, if I don't have the lights on, then I don't have a fridge. I don't essentially have a fridge to use. I feel like you're someone who you've been through it. The reason the money is so valuable to you is because you know what it's like to not have it, okay? So I want to acknowledge that first of all. And I feel like you have finally created a life for yourself where you are stable, you are secure, and now you can start looking for that self-actualization. You can start looking for these other desires to be met. But what I feel like you're not seeing here, what your blind spot, the details you're missing here, is that you are looking in the wrong places for this. You are not going to find this fulfillment in this area of your life. Now, that's not to say that if you've got something going and you're working on something and you've got some new ideas coming in, some new things coming in, that's not to say to just toss that out, okay? It's probably divinely inspired, particularly for you to be in such a fortuitous situation financially. It's probably divinely inspired. I'm not saying to not go after this. What I'm saying is that you're not going to find the emotional fulfillment and desire that you're really hoping to have fulfilled by searching after this. It's misplaced. You're not going to find that there. Okay. What I'm seeing here, here's the thing. By doing that, you're going to find yourself, you're going to find yourself disappointed. And I feel like you will, it's like this feeling of being really anxious, of being kept up at night. And I think that to a certain extent, there's like this sense of loneliness here almost for you. Pile number 3, sorry, I'm not laughing at that because I'm laughing at your situation. It's just, I don't know. I just feel like it just kind of hit me all at once. It's like this feeling of loneliness. It's like when you finally get to a point where you're like, in the dark, it's nice and quiet, you've wound down for the day, there's like this sense of loneliness and anxiety here. You see this person, they're obviously, they're in bed, they're up at night, they're worried about, the Nine of Swords is talking about being like up at night, worried about stuff. But what's really popping out at me is that this figure is all by herself. She's waking up alone. I'm not saying that you need to chase a relationship or something, or look for a relationship to find these desires, to have this deeper desire being filled. I'm just saying that this is something that I see. This is just something that's popping out at me here. It's like this feeling of being lonely, because you can be sitting in a mansion, with all the money in the world, but if you don't have anybody to share that with, even if it's not necessarily romantic partnership, but it's friends, it's, people who you care about, who care about you, and you all care about each other because of who you all are, not because of what you have to offer, socioeconomically. So I feel like it's like there's lots of anxiety around this deep down. It might not be something that you really feel like you want to acknowledge, but it's there. I think the blind spot here, like I said, is this, like you're looking for this in the wrong places. I think what you're trying to do, quite honestly, there's like this sacred space that needs to be created. I want to say with someone else. Now, doesn't have to be with someone else, but I think that it really does seem like that's kind of what you're looking for, maybe. or you're looking for something deeper, something more meaningful here. And I think you need to take some time you're going to have to open up to your emotions, is something that I'm really feeling. We have the King of Cups here. The King of Cups talks about being emotionally available. And when I think of the King of Cups makes me think of like a man who is emotionally available, okay? And just go with me on this. Just go with me on this for a minute. Because when we think about a man who is emotionally, I'm going to talk about a man in the most heterosexual, cisgender, basic way possible, okay? So bear with me here. Move things around to where it fits in your situation, okay? But this is just from my perspective as a heterosexual cisgender female. When I think about a man who is emotionally available, I think of someone who is grounded and strong, and they're like able to control. It's like they're very aware of their emotions. They can be emotional. They can validate someone's emotions. They're very empathetic, but they don't allow it to overtake them. And like they don't make choices and decisions based off of their emotions, okay? But also they don't deny their emotions either. They don't go, oh, well, that's stupid. Oh, well, that's nothing. They don't invalidate their own emotions. They don't invalidate the emotions of other people. So someone who is emotionally mature, that's what I think of. They don't invalidate their own emotions. They don't invalidate the emotions of others. And when we're talking about, with tarot, we have these dualities of masculine and feminine. So they're like in a very traditional sense here. But we're just talking about the types of energies here. So this is just energy where it's like this strong go-getter who has a very strong mind, they're not just... Queen of Cups is more just like kind of receiving, being in a more of a receiving type of energy. King of Cups is a little bit more of like a filling other people's cups type of energy. And maybe that's the key for you. Maybe that's what you're not seeing, is that you can't just run around and try to get your cup filled by others. You have to start by filling the cups of other people first. You have to have something to offer. And it has to be more than just your wealth. It has to be more than just your career. If you're making your career your whole personality, and that's your whole focus, and you're thinking that if that's the main thing that you bring to the table, well, that's good enough, because you bring a lot in this area of your life. You do bring a lot in this area of your life, but there's a lot more to life than just this. This does not fulfill emotional needs. This does not do anything for self-actualization. It might allow for it, but it does not actually do it, okay? Creating emotional connections with others is what allows for that deep emotional connection, okay? Pouring from your own cup, not just receiving from others, not just chasing it from someone else either. Looking for someone to come fill your cup almost is really what this Knight of Cups this is what this particular card and this particular reading is saying to me. But making it to where you are willing to fill others up, you are emotionally available, you don't just, like, you're available to validate others' emotions, you're empathetic, and you bring that to the table, because I feel like deep down you are empathetic. You have the ability to be emotionally available. It's like, it feels like it's almost something that you have shut off in order to fulfill some type of traditional role of breadwinner, or of career woman, or career person, or career man, or whatever. Like, that's what it feels like here, is like you've really taken on this really traditional role here, and I think that it is harming you much more than anything else. Sure, you've achieved some really great things, and this is not to diminish these achievements, these accomplishments, but there is so much more to life than that, and these things are not going to fulfill those needs. and you will find yourself, you'll find yourself kind of, almost just like facing a lot of adversity. Kind of, it's like searching for something, like you go searching for something in the wrong place, and then the energy that you get back is just the wrong thing. And you're like, man, I wish I would have never started that journey to begin with. I wish I never would have opened that door, because now the door's been opened. They're coming for me. Like, the situation's coming for me, and now I'm gonna have to, now this is something else I'm gonna have to deal with. It's really what this feels like here, almost with the Nine of Wands too, is it's like by following through with this and using material conquests, almost, I want to say, using those to try to fill your cup and meet your desires, or material, whatever this is, material, like material things, whether that's buying things, whether that's, because this could even be, this could be having a shopping addiction even, you're using shopping as a way to cope and deal with, unpleasant things that are going on in your life. And this is all it's just displaced. It's just, you need to deal with the actual thing that's going on, and not try to put a band-aid on it, or send that energy or use that energy somewhere else. I don't know. It's just, that's kind of what this feels like here. So whatever material thing you're trying to use as a band-aid to fill your cup and make you feel better, it's honestly just going to lead to more problems. Okay. It's just going to lead to you feeling exhausted, you feeling, where you're like on the defensive almost, is kind of what I'm feeling with this Nine of Wands, where you're just up against a lot of adversity here. I think taking this really traditional role of trying to just be very business minded and very cold and very focused on the material, very logical, very practical possibly, I think this is really harming you. I think this is what you're not seeing, is that by doing this, you're actually, what you're not seeing, your blind spot here, is that you're chasing material things to try to fill a void. Because that's what the sacred space kind of feels like. It's like there's this void here, and it's like, if you notice with this, if you notice with this, like these are almost, it's like, let's compare these cards, the artwork in these cards just for a second. See how these are very clear? Everything's very clear. It's not like these cards are just cloudy cards, right? Everything, I say that there's clouds everywhere, but you know what I mean. The artwork is not hazy, all right? We can clearly see the crows in the forefront, in the foreground here, making an absolute mess. Okay. Here, if you notice, everything is very hazy, okay? It's like this, there's like this hazy thing over these crows. They're not bold and like standing out. There's like this haze over them, all right? I feel like it's like you're trying to fill the void here. Like this is the void. And what could actually fill the void is relationships with others. Now, like I said, doesn't have to be romantic relationships, but fulfillment from others, truly connecting with others, making true, real connections, and finding something that is sacred to you. Everybody has something that is sacred to them, but it requires being vulnerable, okay? And that's something that I'm seeing with the King of Cups here, is what you're not, the blind spot here is this, it's like this, you really need to be vulnerable. You really need to allow yourself to be vulnerable, to be emotionally available, to not just work on validating others' emotions, but you need to validate your own emotions as well. Pile number 3, I think this really cold, going after it, chasing material things, hoping to find your like true happiness, desires fulfilled, self-actualization, and that it's just, you're just not going to find it. It's just going to create more issues. And this really traditional idea is just it's keeping you up at night. It's giving you a lot of anxiety, and it's going to, if you continue to pursue this in this way, with this this idea in mind that this is going to fill your cup and this will finally be the thing. Your blind spot here, the detail you're missing is that it won't finally be the thing. It won't. It's going to be something else, and you'll move past this if you stay in the same energy and don't really integrate the lesson here, the information here. If you stay in this energy, you're going to come up against a lot of adversity here. It's not going to work out like you were hoping it's going to work out. Because you cannot tell me this woman just popped into this situation hoping that this is how it would work out. Whatever this is that she's got going on here, whatever this freaking crazy mess is, I really doubt that she walked into this situation going, I hope this is what happens. I don't think so. So what I'm seeing here is that it's not going to work out how you were hoping it's going to work out. You really need to think a little bit more about your, about creating something that's sacred to you, about this is like filling a void here. Don't fill the void with stuff. Don't fill it with a bunch of material junk, because it just doesn't work. It's just going to leave you feeling empty and alone by the end of the day. It's really stale energy too. It's something I think that the world is kind of trying to move away from, and I think that you should jump on that train and try to move away from that as well, and work on being a little bit more, like I said, open emotionally. Take some time and decide what is it that you're really looking for emotionally, because that's what this is. It's like these desires, they're emotional. It's emotional needs that you have that you need to have met, whether this is like I said, if you're someone where it's like the addiction thing or using substances to cope kind of resonated with you, there's some sort of emotional need under that needs to be dealt with. Those things are just band-aids that aren't going to actually address the emotional pain, the hurt, the need, whatever that is. I think you need to be emotionally available to yourself overall. For everyone here, I think you need to be emotionally available for yourself, so that you can address the real source of the pain here, and move away from this really traditional view of, I feel like it's just this traditional thing where it's like, oh, well, I'm very practical and I'm very career oriented and I don't do all that emotion stuff. Well, maybe you should. Just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to need you to dabble in that a little bit here. Now, with this magical moon card, I've been saving this to last here, because what I really want to point out is the illumination, awakening, and discovery keywords, as well as luminous light in the dark. Take me on a journey to reveal my truth. Guys, your truth. This is what you're searching for here. This is a journey, this journey that you're on. It's like, I just feel like overall you're on a journey. I think we're all on a journey in life. I feel like life is a journey for all of us here. And I think that you just really need to take some time. Like I said, be emotionally available to yourself. Kind of sit with this void that you feel, because I think when you do that, when you kind of incorporate this information in to your journey here, I think you're going to find the solution illuminated for you. Okay, I think you're going to realize this, and I think you're going to discover what it is that will truly fill this void. And I'm telling you, it's not going to be some material thing. It's just not. Because they just don't fill the void like that. So I think you are going through a bit of an awakening. Honestly, I think I said that in my stand that my phone is on just kind of made a weird creaking noise. So that's most likely the case for you. That might be some confirmation. I think you're going on a new journey. I think you're just awakening to something new. A new spiritual awakening, a new whatever type of awakening here. I think that's what you're going on here. Kind of waking up your emotions a little bit, awakening to the idea, kind of to the idea that this material stuff that you've accumulated, that you've worked so hard for, It's great. It's wonderful. And it allows us to have the time and resources to work on self-actualization, but it will not actually provide self-actualization. So this is what I'm seeing for you. Pile number 3. Thank you so much for watching this reading. If this resonated for you, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comment section down below too if there are any topics that you'd like to see on the channel. I love reading all of your comments. I respond or like heart every single one. So yes, you guys, thank you so much. I want to thank your guides too for coming through with this information, and I will see you all in your next reading. Bye.